Hello and welcome to another podcast. We're going to talk about the days of wine and roses, and we've been covering this for a couple weeks on the YouTube channel. So check out some videos there as well as we go through this. But I'm going to start out by playing a little on the tune, and then we'll get into improvisation and just talking about some ideas, throwing around some ideas for playing over the changes of Days of Wine and Roses. Okay, let's talk about a few of the elements that you want to be able to work through on some of these. So we have the key of F, right? So, and then we kind of immediately get kind of pulled away from that. So this is a flat 7 in the key of F. So E flat, dominant, 7th. And there are certain parts of the key area or certain progressions that work real well with certain maybe scales or modes and kind of things like that. So this one is one of those where you might select a melodic minor type of a mode from that. So that would be B flat melodic minor. You can hear how kind of similar this B flat minor 6 chord sounds to the E flat 9, right? So that gives us something called the Lydian dominant, because it has a sharp 11 and it has the flat 7. So it has the sharp 11 aspect of the Lydian and the flat 7 kind of aspect of the dominant 7th or the Mixolydian mode. And then, we get back into a chord that fits pretty nice with our key signature, A minor 7. Sometimes this chord is played as D7 or D9. Then we can really start to dial up some dissonance on this and give it kind of a 5 of the 2 chord, so it adds a little extra tension to move us to the G minor. Right, hear that little movement. So one thing to practice there is to practice a little bit of G minor and then practice a bit of Phrygian dominant or something like that, and work on how that resolves over to it. And finally we get to the G minor, and again, options. So kind of keep your ear out as you're improvising this with folks. So you could have a B flat to the B flat minor to E flat 7. That gives you kind of a 2-5 sort of sound. So then you may use A flats rather than E naturals, right? So those are some little kind of subtle differences to it, but sometimes it just goes straight over to the E flat with a sharp 11, which would be the A natural. So as a soloist, you can listen to the chordal player and get a sense for what they're doing. And then the opposite is true as well. Okay, so let's continue talking about the tune here a bit. So let's say we're here measure 9. Well, the progression. So we have an A minor. Now we can build in an A7 to that, add a little more tension to it. And then we have D minor, which we can also create a dominant on that, dominant 7th, 5 of the 2 chord. Right, so that gives us a little motion in our line, so we can create something like. Right, so we're kind of switching from minor to the dominant in order to create a little more tension, a little more activity. So here we're moving into 2/5 in D minor. So you might use that kind of language on it, like kind of the minor sounding, Phrygian dominant sound. Then we get to minor, it's kind of different story. We have a 2 and a 2/5 of its own, so 2/5 in the key of C. Right. So that is one accidental away from the key that we're actually in. So we have a B natural there, and then we move it around to 2, 5 back into the tonic chord. Okay, now the second half of the tune starts out really in much the same way. We have the tonic, and then we have the E flat 9 sharp 11, which you could substitute a E or C minor 6 over E flat. So that's kind of a cool change. Let's hear how that sounds. So we've got that into to that chord. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then we can explore some alternate changes here. So we have a kind of an altered sound, and go into the D9, G minor, got this 2/5 here. Okay, but I'll mention too that with the melody, you want to be careful about that. So you may want to not use A flats there, but for the melody part anyway. Okay. All right. Well, let's do a little more playing, and then we'll talk about the end of the tune. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the end of the tune. So we have A minor. We can do that 5 of the 6 again. Walk down with a C. B minor 7 flat 5 to E7. So that change suggests to us a little bit of an A minor kind of thing. And then we get 3, 6, 2, 5. So you want to get really used to improvising over the 3, 6, 2, 5. So outline a bit of the changes, and then kind of suggest that 5 to 1 progression. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for checking out this podcast, and this will be a video available to the members there on the Lessons and Talks YouTube channel. All right, everybody, we'll have a great practice session. I'll see you all in the next one.